Okay, I've prepared it in English. Could change it in French as well. Probably, yeah. But if it's fine, we're going to do it in English. And just one point as well, we record the sessions. Might be that some people might still have some interest in that as well. So if you don't feel comfortable, well, most of you have switched off the camera, that's fine. If you want to add or ask anything but not use your voice, then it's also fine to do that in the chat function, which is activated. And otherwise, we can also do it at the very end, that there is, let's say, some Q&A sessions which we don't record, so that you can feel comfortable. Okay, here as well, Werner. It's here. Okay, nice to meet you as well. Just to repeat shortly about the recording, we do record that for other participants that might be interesting as well. If you don't have the camera on, that's fine. Otherwise, you do have the chat function also to ask questions there as well. Okay, let's start. The first, just to shortly outline the agenda. So it's basically about the PMP exam, some new aspects that we have integrated there, also the commercial aspects, how to use it, and afterwards, certainly also give you time to ask questions, and probably also not only about our tools, but also PMP, if you're interested. And then we're going to look a little bit into the future as well, since there will be also changes for the CAPM, as has been announced by PMI. If you do have any questions, as I said, if you do want to elaborate on specific items, then afterwards as well, please use the chat function, or at the end, we certainly do have time to discuss them. Exam, the update of the exam tool, our exam simulator, has actually been done in two phases. The first phase was the most important one. There was the new exam outline beginning of last year, and we have updated the exam already there in terms of the new ECO, which is called the Exam Content Outline, and this has been the basis of the changes that we have done. So basically there we have created new questions and added them to the tool, and also new types of questions regarding multiple choice and drag and drop questions, which have been integrated there as well. Otherwise, what we did already is really refer all the questions to the three domains. The domains, just to be sure, these are the domains that are included in the exam content outline and are the reference actually to what needs to be known for the exam. So this has been done. Then we decided, with the appearance of the PMBOK 7, also to do some other changes, because it's to make sure that also the new framework of PMI, the PMBOK 7, is included there as well. So basically what we have done there is that we eliminated all the questions which are more like input-output questions, which are not that relevant anymore in the PMBOK 7. They're still in PMBOK 6, but also in terms of the content outline, they are less important. And also some of the questions which are referring to the processes, especially the processes of PMBOK, those have been deleted as well, or modified where we could use it to make it more pertinent also in terms of the exam. And we have added some new questions as well. And what we do also, we have separated the function, of which we're going to talk about right now as well. So to split it a little bit in order to really well prepare the participants for the real exam. So basically, what is new is really there are the two functions. We have differentiated the two functions which were already existing, but we focus more on really this exam preparation, which is done with the function simulation, and the general learning about the PMI, which is done by with the function learn. So the learn function really includes all the questions that are in the database, and it's a good approach to really learn project management according to the PMI frameworks. All questions are related to different standards, the PMBOK 6, which has been the case before, the PMP Exam Content Outline, which is divided into 3 domains, and then the performance domains, which come up in the PMBOK 7. So this helps also to refer to different questions to different standards. And at the end, this is really the broad database, which is usable for the people that learn project management, but also would like to learn project management profoundly for the exam. On the other hand, the function simulation is dedicated to really prepare for the PMP exam, let's say, in a focused way. So there, only the questions which are pertinent in terms of the PMP exam are there. We have maxed it also, the balance between agile, hybrid, and predictive questions. And otherwise, all the questions are also linked to the 4 references, especially the ECO domains, the performance domain of PMBOK 7, and still the knowledge areas and the process groups, which are referred to PMBOK 6. It is to be said that PMBOK 6 is still relevant, even though they don't print it anymore, and it might disappear as a book, but it might also be integrated more in their platform, the platform which is called PMI Standard Plus, which will be the platform where you find all the different approaches for best practices in PMI. Again, here, in terms of the results, what is important is the ECO, or the exam content outline domains. This really defines the final, let's say, percentages, and this is enough to what's also relevant to pass the exam or not. If you look into that, just to give you an example here, that's if you enter into the exam simulators, you do have the 2 functions here, the learn function and also the simulations function, which I described right now. And what do you need to know as well, or what I think it's good to convey to the participants or to the candidates, if they really want to focus on the exam, you use the simulation, which is really dedicated to the simulation. The learn function gives you access to all different project areas, as I outlined here, the knowledge areas, the process groups, the domain of the exam, and the performance domain of the PMP, the PMBOK 7. And you can do it by the different domains. In each domain, you can choose if you want to have only, for example, here, the processes, people, and so on. And you can also choose if you want to learn with the number of questions, 10 up to 30. So this is really to get into that and to learn step by step. On the other hand, if you really want to do the simulations, there are also 2 possibilities to do. Either you start the full exam, that means really 180 questions for which you have up to 4 hours time to do that, or you can custom yourself as well. So custom means that you can also choose what you want to do, can choose still the different domains here. You can choose if you want to answer those who are never answered, support those who you have answered wrong. So here you can also choose your way to do the customized exam, and you can also choose the number of questions that you want to have in the exam. This is certainly an efficient way also to prepare yourself for the exam. Also in different approaches, might be according to the exam content outline domains, maybe according to PMBOK 7 or still PMBOK 6. So that's up to the learners to do that, but probably most will just do a full exam or an exam with a limited number of questions. Just in terms of the type of questions that you will find in there, there are basically three types. The one is the single choice questions. There is the situation described, and then there are 4 different answers, one of which is correct, and obviously the candidates need to find the correct ones. Then there are the multiple choice questions. Again, here there is a situation, and there are more than one answers which are correct. So the participants need to find the correct answers, also find how many might be correct. And the last one will be the drag and drop. So there are, again, there's the situation and then a couple of answers that need to be put into the recording, the respective boxes. For example, here, true and false statements. And you can do that by clicking on each answer. And then there is a small pop-up here, which actually gives you the possibility of the boxes. And you choose the box where you want to have put it in there. This is done by purpose to make it also usable on the smartphones so that you can do it with your fingers as well and don't have to use the mouse every time you do this type of exercises. Then a short hint about feedback. So we have, as I said in the beginning, added different kind of references in the feedbacks. For example, PMBOK 7 here, but also the Agile guide if that's relevant. But we also kept in there PMBOK 6, as you see it right now here. So all the references are in there as well. If someone wants to look further on in the different references, they might find it here. In some cases, there are no reference to the PMBOK 6, 7 or the practice guide, just simply because right now the basis for the exam are not the PMBOKs anymore, but different frameworks, different books. And this means sometimes there are different concepts which we outlined here, but we have not included all the references in the feedbacks here. This would be too far, so there will be no feedbacks. Okay, that's basically first about the news in terms of the PMP exam. Do you have any questions so far? Please feel free also to unmute yourself or just ask your question. If not, you can also use the chat to write your question in there as well. Any question from your side? Yes.
Okay. One question is how many questions are in the pool in total?
The pool are more than 1,200 questions.
Sorry, 1,200 or
more than 2,200.
Okay.
1,200. Sorry, 1,200. Yeah.
100, 2,000.
Yeah.
Sorry. 1,200.
1,200. Yeah. It's
Okay.
like what those
1,200.
doubled over the numbers. Okay. Any other question?
Yes. Well, just this new version is, I don't know. I mean, you can choose to update the license you have already to look like this, or exactly. People will find it suddenly, or.
Let's come to this aspect as well. Let's say the commercial aspects. Indeed. So, yeah, that's the next point. Thank you for this.
Okay.
Bridge and afterwards. Unless you do have any other questions with regard to the functionalities, I would suggest to go on. We still can. Yeah, there is one question about if you have Agile questions as well. Yeah, we do have Agile questions in there. We have also hybrid questions, so they are in there as well. Yeah, we have updated it. We do have access to the clone questions that PMI ATPs, authorized training partners, receive, and we have taken those as a reference also to amend the Agile part of the questions. We certainly will do, and we'll talk about this later, also constantly updated questions that will be the case in the future as well, to match it as good as it gets to the real exam.
I have another question. This is Manuel. Sorry. How much much or what proportion it's are the agile questions or agile related questions? I mean,
Well,
it's something like a 50 to 30%,
no,
or it's less than that.
well, first of all, there you really have to do or use the function of simulation, because there the questions are better balanced than in the learned questions. So the questions there are more or less according to the content outline. So I don't recall, but I think there were about half of it is really procedural questions like a conventional or waterfall project management, and the other half is mixed between agile questions and hybrid questions.
Okay.
What is to be said as well, some of the questions are probably seen as soft skill questions, which come more from my point of view from the agile world here. Sometimes it's difficult to really classify there, but we have done quite some effort to really balance it as good as we get there. So there is,
Okay.
yeah, according to the references of PMI, we have done it. Yeah.
The idea is to have it almost half of the questions related to the new agile and hybrid. Okay.
But I've seen also the clone questions of PMI, so they consider also kind of soft skill questions, that agile questions sometimes, which we have done as well. So it's not always poor about agile methodologies, it's also about different approaches, and a lot are hybrid right now. I think that's where PMI is going to use the different concept in different ways according to the framework of your project.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good. Okay, let's look at the commercial aspect. So as of now, whenever you order new licenses, you will have access to the new version of the PMP exam. That's for sure. Now, if you do have old licenses, they are still valid. The questions in there, as I said before, they are linked to the new ECO, and a lot of questions are still the same. If you want to convert in the new version, then be happy to do that. We do it for free, but the license will be active according to the original expiration date. If you have still 6 months left on the old ones, the new one will be also available for the next 6 months. There will be the two of them. We don't erase the old one because participants may have done already some simulations there, so they can go back. So they will have two of them. If you want to change us, then please inform us. If you can send a link on our service desk, which you find here as well, and we are happy then afterwards to add that. That would be nice also to indicate what kind of licenses you would change or what kind of groups. That is then afterwards easier for us to do it quickly afterwards, to change it and to add the new exam to these respective groups. Okay, does this, Manuel, I think you were asking about the question. Is this answering your questions about how we're going to proceed with the licenses?
Okay.
Okay. Does someone
new licenses already will appear with the new version?
Exactly. Whenever now you order licenses Exam PMP, then it will be automatically the new version that will be added to this group, to the licenses. Indeed. Good. If there is no other question from your side, I would like to give a little bit an outlook as well. So just in terms of the exam, what we're going to do, we're going to constantly renew the questions as well. So I think PMI is in the process of changing quite a lot, also with the new PMBOK, but also with the material that they have for the PMP certification preparation. So this will be a constant process, which not only, I think, not always needs a new version. So we're going to add them during the use as well. So you have instant usage of also the new questions that will be integrated. In terms of the e-learning, if someone of you uses that, so the e-learning, the current one, the PMBOK 6 e-learning is still relevant, but we certainly gonna do some updates, some new versions of e-learning support, knowing that the ATPs cannot use the e-learning anymore for individual preparation, because PMI wants the ATPs to do the preparation as instructor-led course, and that's the reason why we do it more in support of those courses. So there will be new contents added there as well, according to the PMP Exam Content Outline, and we certainly will be also adding more agile techniques, soft skills in this e-learning, so that it is a good tool also to prepare the participants in addition to the instructional learning. Whenever it will be ready, we are happy also to inform you about the changes, so that you might also consider to use that in addition to the books that you have. There is another change. This is the CAPM. This has been announced shortly by PMI that the CAPM Exam Content Outline is also going to change, or actually it has already changed and has been published a couple of weeks ago. And this means that there will be changes as well. So the new CAPM exam outline will be based on 4 domains, which you see here. It's project management fundamentals, core concepts. This is about the broad understanding of project management. Then you have the predictive plan-based methodologies, which is more or less referring to PMBOK 6. But you have also the adaptive frameworks, which go more to agile project management. And then the business analysis, which is more like stakeholder management, scope requirements, and so on as well. So there will be some major changes as well. Up to now, the current exam is still valid. According to an announcement by PMR, the PMBOK 6 is still valid for the exam CAPM. So there is no change yet, but there will certainly be in the second half of the year. The date has not been published yet. This means, especially for us, in terms of the exam simulator CAPM, we certainly also do the update to refer to the new content outline, exam content outline for CAPM. We will refer that to as well. We will have to review all the questions and certainly include some the references to PMBOK 7, because this might be also more relevant, especially for the adaptive or the iterative parts of it. We will also consider to do an e-learning more targeted to the preparation of the CAPM exam, which can be also combined to with the exam, so that there are 2 tools be again used as a prep pack for individual preparation as well, since this will still be available for CAPM. Again, here we have to see in which direction PMI is going. I think they have been not that explicit yet, but just to give you already a hint where this might go into the future in terms of the CAPM. Okay, do you have any questions, any remarks with regards to the recent changes? Please don't forget to unmute yourself if you do have a question, or use the chat as well. Yeah. It seems that there are no particular questions. Still give you a couple of minutes if you want. Yeah, are interested. Well, if there are no more questions from your side, well, I would like to thank you for attending the conference, but also for being interested in our tools. Whenever there is a question from your side, we will be happy to respond to it. You have seen our help desk, which is probably the easiest way to ask all your questions, because then internally we can attribute them. I have seen Maurizio, you still have a question, and yeah, you have put it online as well. And Manuel, I just see that as well.
Okay, yes. Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
The simulator is available in Spanish. We have translated in Spanish, so all the questions are available in Spanish as well, so that you can use it. We will always translate it. Currently, it's English, French, German, Italian, Spanish, the languages which are in the simulator. I think this is correct. Yeah. Another question. No, that's basically it. Otherwise, what score do you need to have on your simulator to be confident and to succeed in real exam? That's a good question as well. We have put the level high. It's about 80%. We want to be 80% in a full simulation. That means 180 questions that need to be answered correctly. So we put the level on 80%. The real exam, they don't really communicate, but what here it's about 60-65%. So we will be higher to make sure that people really are confident to answer them afterwards the questions at the real exam. And as well, this means also to terminate the course like such or the exam, you need to have responded to 800 questions or 600 questions. To you. I thought actually 600 questions. You need to have at least 600 questions answered, and then you need to do one full exam, 180 questions, and 80% correct. So then you have also completed the course in terms of what we expect as a result. Okay, then there's another question. Do you have a plan for training companies? Well, companies, it depends. Now, PMI has introduced the concept of ATPs, training partners, and with that, you can also go into companies and do the preparation as an instructor-led preparation also for companies. And we use the exam tools also in this regard. When we do provide courses to companies, that this is an integral part of the preparation. And I think people like it because they really and be prepared for the exam. Okay, that's about the questions I have seen in the chat. I thank all those who had to leave and did acknowledge the information. That's very nice. Thank you for that. Any other questions from your side? Okay. So thank you again for your interest, for your questions as well. I really hope that we could give you some insights of our developments as what we have done right now and what will be in the future. And please do not hesitate also to contact us if you do have any further questions for that. Okay, thank you very much. Again, I wish you a nice evening and a lot of success in preparing your candidates for the PMP exam.